Welcome back to Spotlight. The boys in gold are back from New Jersey. We're going to talk about that match. We are also debuting Barbie Game Day this Saturday as the boys in gold take on Portland Timbers. Let's talk about it here on Spotlight. Welcome back, my friends. It's a warmer day at Geodis Park, and I couldn't be happier to be here with you two. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. The pink is popping. It is a warmer day, but I still need this joint though. We're not quite in the official spring summer vibes yet, but we're almost there. We're getting there.
Classic California guy. Still got to break out the jacket until it's in the 70s or 80s. Look, it's better than the feels like temperature of 18 degrees that was in Harrison, New Jersey over the weekend for NSC and Red Bulls.
Absolutely. Well, speaking about Harrison, New Jersey, let's talk about Nashville SC's first away match this last weekend. Jaleel, do you want to talk to us about some of your key takeaways from the weekend?
Yeah, difficult one. Obviously, when you go into Red Bull Arena, you have to roll up your sleeves, and it's a tough game. And the New York Red Bulls, they came into that game very, very hungry because they dropped points in their first one, looking for their first win. They got it. For me, I think it's a growing experience for the boys in gold. Anytime you're able to, suffer a defeat early on in the season, it allows you to get back into the film room, really look at some of the ways in which you need to improve.
It's just a tough place to play. I mean, since 2010, New York Red Bulls has the second most home wins in MLS. They are so consistent with the way that they operate at home. And that system specifically, those are their pitch dimensions. That's the stadium that they're accustomed to. It's harder to play switches away from their press when you're not used to how far and how wide the pitch actually is. That's something that we don't talk about a lot in this sport. Jaleel, I know as a player, you could certainly speak to it better than I could. In your home stadium, on your own training pitch, you understand just the feeling of what it's like playing on that grass. And every pitch has a little bit different dimensions, a little bit different vibe to it. It's kind of like when you go into an arena and you're shooting free throws, right? Like if you're in a small gym, it might look like the basket's 12 feet from you. If you're in a big gym, it might look like it's 20 feet from you. It's similar way in soccer. So all that to say, it's a big challenge playing against that press. And specifically, I thought for Nashville in a midfield that has been so decimated by injuries with Gaston Brugman, Brian Acosta, unable to be in a squad yet, and then Patrick Yazbek, who's able to come in for a little bit. That's a difficult environment for two players in Wyatt Maher and Matt Corcoran making their second MLS appearances.
You definitely saw a change of pace in the last 20 minutes of the match. What would you say is something that is hopeful for the fans to look forward to going forward? Yeah,
I think, like Will noted or alluded to, getting guys back healthy. Preseason has been dominating a lot of the conversation for us because that really rolls or parlays you into the season for real. But now that it's here, you want to get guys back healthy. You want to get a few more games or fixtures here at Geodis Park that can really allow you to get comfortable. And of course, hitting the back of the net for the first time. Getting that monkey off your back is going to be something that the boys in gold are going to be heavily fixated on as they prepare for their next match.
I thought it was really good to see Patrick Yazbek come back in the 58th minute. I think PJ Callahan maybe saw an option he has with Eddie Tagseth partnering with Patrick Yazbek in the center of the pitch. And one thing this staff I know loves about Eddie Tagseth is his versatility. He's a guy in Norway who played as a left back. He's played as a central midfielder. He's played more as an 8, as a 6, as now a right mid for BJ Callahan in these first two games from the start. I think his versatility is going to be really valuable for Nashville moving forward.
All right. Well, there was a milestone that happened this last match. Jack Maher hit his 100th regular season start. Jaleel, do you want to talk to us a little bit about that being a player?
Yeah, I mean, they grow up fast, man. they really do. I remember when we all first got here in 2020 and Jack was just this little kind of lanky kid and we were all kind of poking fun at him. But don't get it twisted. Jack has put in a lot of very, very hard work over the years and, has had to prove himself year after year. And to be able to have 100 appearances in 6 seasons, that means that more often than not, you're getting things right. And for Jack, what is amazing is to be able to see him really grow next to and, behind Walker Zimmerman. It's always something as a younger player that you're hoping that you have. A veteran player and, a veteran kind of core group that you can look up to and kind of model your game off of as well in terms of what works for them, but most importantly, how it works for you. And that's what I've seen out of Jack. He's taken what, some of the older guys have been able to help him with as far as wisdom, but made it all his own.
Certainly. It's impressive. I mean, I remember yesterday almost like the supporters were outside his house as he got drafted out of Indiana for the MLS Super Draft, and what a cool scene that was. But a guy who's still got such a high ceiling and is only really just getting started.
Could you imagine someone rolling up to your house with a bus full of people?
Yeah, I'd be like, how do you know where I live? Like, I'll join your team, but also, what's going on? No, it's a really cool moment. And it's been really cool to just see, like, the milkman, right? Like you guys would tease him about just like how much he would just drink milk. I remember it was his original kind of thing, and he's grown up. He's got the calcium. It's working for him, man. He's filled out a little bit.
Looks like he's diversified his diet a little bit, gotten a little bit stronger. But nobody's pulling up to your house if you're shooting free throws like you were talking about in that analogy earlier.
Well, the Boys in Gold are back at Geodis Park this Saturday, which also is our very first theme night, which can you guess what it is based off of the pink?
Well, clearly it's not Ken's dream house, it's Barbie's dream house.
That's right. So this Saturday, we are rolling out our first theme night of the year, which is Barbie Game Day, hence the pink. Now, if you're one of the first 10,000 fans that show up to the gates, guess what else you get here?
I'm guessing the glasses.
Ooh.
Nope, not the glasses. Not the glasses.
Barbie bandana.
You might need glasses, but yeah. The Barbie bandana over here. It's really cute. Let me see if I can take it down so y'all can see the beautiful detail in this.
Okay.
This
I like
is a beautiful collaboration between Nashville Soccer Club and Barbie for Barbie Game Day. And the first 10,000 fans show up at the gates will get one. You don't want to miss it. It's really nice quality and it's pink, super cute. In addition to the Barbie bandanas, our hero of the match is Sarah Fuller, who was a D1 athlete who played for Vanderbilt soccer team and also made a debut on the Vanderbilt football team. So we will honor her as our hero of the match, as well as having some special boutiques around the concourse for women. So ladies, make sure you come out here. There's going to be some special items out here for you to purchase. But looking at the match, NSC is going to take on Portland Timbers. Let's start with you, Will. What are your thoughts coming up? What are you going to be looking out for?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting one because both teams have had longer injury lists than they would have liked to start the season. And for Portland, they got a wrench thrown in their first game against Vancouver. Kamal Miller gets a red card within the first 15 minutes of that game. They're playing with 10 men. All of a sudden, Jayden Nelson is cooking against them in that first game. And heck, he's been cooking against everybody. But they're able to bounce back. They get a win 1-0 against Austin over the weekend. But missing a lot of talent and a lot of new faces. A back three, a little bit of a different system from Phil Neville's side that was predominantly four at the back last season, and a couple of young center backs, Jaleel, that were in that team over the weekend, filling in for Kamal Miller. But David DaCosta, he is the guy I'm really watching in this game. The Evander replacement, he's off to Cincinnati. DaCosta comes in from Lens in France and scores a great free kick goal. Kind of got a fortuitous bounce over the weekend, but a lot of talent and a lot of experience, and the only player to ever play 400 games for one club in MLS history, in Diego Chara, who comes to town this weekend as well.
Yeah, of course. When you're talking about the Portland Timbers, you're talking about Diego Chara. We've been talking about him. I played against him for so many years. You're talking about an upstanding gentleman and professional as well. One thing that the Portland Timbers are looking for is a little bit more consistency. Obviously, in the first game, it's very difficult to properly judge them because, like you said, Kamal Miller goes out with the red card very early, and then it completely changes the tide of the game. What I'll be looking for from the Boys in Gold standpoint, though, is hitting the back of the net, like I said earlier. Whenever you've gone, 1 or 2 or 3 games in the early part of the season, and you haven't hit the back of the net, it becomes something that, really makes it difficult to catch rhythm. But the earlier you do that, then you can roll that into, okay, we got rhythm and now we can just tweak things as opposed to really trying to figure out how to score goals, which everyone will tell you is the most difficult thing to do in football.
All right, well, that's a wrap for today's episode. We hope to see you right here at Geodis Park this Saturday for Barbie Game Day. Thanks for watching. NSC is back at Geodis Park on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time to face Portland Timbers. Don't forget, it's Barbie Game Day. Be here early for your pink bandana and all the festivities. To watch the match, you can hop on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, or we'll see you here.